Do you check your tire pressure every time you go out on a ride? The fact is, most riders don't check their pressure, and that could lead to disaster. So I'm going to show you an easy way to do it, and it's as simple as looking at your phone. Stick around. Welcome back to another edition of Tech Tips Thursday. Today we're going to be talking about the Fobo Bike 2. If you've been following the channel, then you might remember about 3 years ago I did a review on the tire pressure monitors called Fobo Bike 2. And I've been using them probably for about 6 years now, from my old bike, which is the CBR 600, to the new ST 1300. And I can't tell you how many times this thing has saved our butts. So we recently purchased a motorcycle camper, and the first thing I wanted to do to it was to add tire pressure sensors. You want to be able to monitor the bike as well as the camper. If there's a flat on either one, I want to know about it before we get into trouble. So first thing that popped into my head was to get another set of the Fobo Bike 2. And as luck would have it, just as I was about to pull the trigger and purchase one, I get an email from the company asking me if I wanted to do a follow-up review. Perfect timing, couldn't beat it. So here we are. These are tiny little sensors. Installation is super simple on it. You download their app, you open it, and you just follow the process on the screen. Very simple, very straightforward, only takes a couple of minutes, and you're all set up. And once you're set up, you're gonna have a screen that looks kind of like this. And on the screen, you can personalize, first of all, what kind of bike you have. You can even take a picture and upload a picture on it if you wanna spice it up a little bit and make it look prettier. You can set your minimum pressure levels and you can set your maximum pressure levels. And of course, you can also set your regular riding pressure. And what that's gonna do is anytime it goes below that level, when you first start, it'll automatically notify you. If for some reason it's above that level, it'll notify you as well. If it detects a leak, whether it's a slow leak or a blowout, whatever the case may be, and it starts to drop gradually, it'll also give you an alert. So either way, you're gonna know about it. Now there's a couple of ways that it can notify you. One of them is over Bluetooth. So if you use any kind of Bluetooth communication like Cardo or Sena, it'll have an audible alert that you can set up. There's actually different sounds that you can use. It'll let you know in the Bluetooth. Once the alarm goes off, you can look at the app and you can see exactly where the pressure is and what's going on. If you happen to have a smartwatch like an Apple or a Galaxy Watch, whatever it is, there's also an app for that where you can actually monitor it in real time right over the watch. Now, another nice feature that I like is they have what's called an overlay system. And I'll show you what that is. If, let's say you're navigating, you have your Google Maps open or Waze, and then what you can do is tap that little icon on the top, and that'll show you the levels on top of whatever you have open. You can actually also move it, and you can place it anywhere you want on the screen. You can have it on the top, on the bottom, left or right, wherever it is that's not in the way. I find that to be a very useful feature. And when it's open, you can always see your pressure at a glance. You can also see the temperature, and it's just great peace of mind, and you don't have to have an extra hardware piece mounted on your handlebars. Now these run on tiny little lithium batteries. They're called CR1632. They're very common. They're available at any pharmacy, supermarket. They say it can last for up to a year. To be honest, more realistic is about 6 to 8 months. That's what I've seen getting out of them, which is fine by me. The batteries are cheap. They're only about $5 or $6. So if I have to spend $5 or $6 once a year, twice a year, I'm okay with that. Now, these will give you real-time pressure, and they'll also give you real-time temperature. And one nice feature, which proved to be handy for us right now, is that you can add more and more sensors onto the app. As a matter of fact, you can have up to 19. Now they're very lightweight, like I mentioned. They're also waterproof, so you don't have to worry about rain or anything like that. And the best part about it is they're very cost effective. These sell for only $99. So you're definitely getting your money's worth. It's a one-time investment, and except for the batteries, there's no extra added cost. So let's open this up. I'll show you what comes inside. This is actually the set I'm going to be installing on our camper. So once I get there, I'll also film the installation process. It's very, very simple. But basically, this is the way it comes in the box. So you have your two sensors, and then once you open the flaps, you have the accessories inside. Now, with the accessories, they give you these locks right here. And what those allow you to do is once you install the sensors on the tire, you put these before, and then you can screw them upwards and it'll actually lock the sensors onto the valve stem so they can't be stolen. And they actually give you these little keys right here. They give you 2 of them, and that's to lock and unlock it. Another thing they give you, which I think you should definitely install when you get it, is these metal valve stems. Now, I haven't had any issue as far as the weight goes with it throwing it off balance or anything like that. But I will say this, if your valve stems are old and you have the original ones, they're made of rubber, they're more prone to cracking, like my voice. Now, I will say this, if your valve stems are old, they're made of rubber, and after a while they start to dry up, they start to crack, and you are adding extra weight. So it's always a good idea to just replace them and put the metal ones, and then you never have to worry about it. We actually took it a step further, and they actually sell what are called T-valves, and those allow you to have the tire pressure sensors installed on the tire, and then you have another valve for adding pressure, removing pressure, without having to remove them every time. Now, this is the actual sensor itself. See how tiny these are. And this is what they look like with the cap screwed off. And by the way, they actually come with your choice of colors. They have silver, which is what I went with, and then they have black also. All right, so now we're outside by the camper. I'm gonna show you the process of installing the monitors on the actual tires, so follow along. Let's open up these bad boys. Now, I am gonna be removing and replacing these valve stems. I do have the rubber ones, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'll do that at a later time. Now, let me point out one thing. If you'll notice, there's a rubber O-ring that goes right around it, and that is what makes it waterproof. So this is your lock here. You're gonna screw that on, then you're gonna install your pressure sensor. And once that's on there tight, you're gonna rotate the lock in the opposite direction. So now we're gonna open up the Fobo app. And this you just download from the App Store or Google Play if you're an Android like me. We're gonna click on the F logo there, the Fobo logo. And you have the option here to add new. So we're gonna do that. And it's gonna ask you if it's a motorcycle, a quad, bike with a sidecar. You have many different variations. There is one here for a trailer, but I see that it's 4 wheels, and we are not doing 4 wheels. Let's see if, there we go. We have trailer with 2 wheels. Profile name, we'll call this camper. Click next. The regular pressure I'm going to be running is going to be around 29, so my minimum is set to 26, maximum 36. You can always change that, but I'm going to leave that alone. We can skip that for demonstration purposes. All right, so we're going to screw it onto the left, touch the sensor with your mobile, press proceed. So we have it screwed on. We're going to tap with the mobile. Application requires permission. Let's give it permission. Scanning for sensor. Installing sensor. All right, so something went wrong. You know what? I'm gonna remove this case because I do have like a metal magnetic thing here. So let's take that off so there's nothing blocking it. Install, proceed. Right away, you see the color difference, and that's because the pressure is low. I have it set to 29, and it's actually at 23, which is very low. And that's why these are useful. All right, so here we are at the right side. Pop off the cap. What you want to do is unscrew it, pull the tab out, yep, screw it on, and now we're going to install the right one. So again, we're going to tap it, click proceed, scanning, installing. Yep. Oh, that one's real low. Yep, so we got 23 on one and 12.9 on the other. That is terrible. All right, let's get some air in these bad boys. So Fobo was kind enough to send me an extra unit, and this unit we're going to do same as we did in the last review. We're going to do a giveaway. Now the only requirements is that you need to be a subscriber prior to this video. And the other thing, you just need to leave a comment. Tell me what bike you have that you're going to be installing this on. So for example, we have the ST1300. So I would put, I'm going to install the Fobo Bike 2 on the ST1300. Make sure you use the word Fobo Bike 2 in the comments, as that's what I'm going to use to draw the winner. We're going to do the drawing on Sunday, April 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I'll send it out as soon as we know who the winner is. So again, I want to thank Fobo for sending this out and for reaching out and letting me do another review video. I've been very happy with them, so I gladly accepted. I'm not getting paid by them to do it. And they were generous enough to send another unit to give away to one of you guys. So best of luck. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike, Mr. and Mrs. Two Wheeler, and see you on the road.